quiet. Calm down.
It ain't him. It's this right here. This one's trying to be all right.
Now listen to me. I just told you you're at your risk. Get the patient to the hospital.
In a high-stakes confrontation between law and ego, a traffic stop spirals when an officer challenges a judge's privilege.
We're here to talk to you about it. All right? I didn't need your manager or whoever it is.
What starts as a routine pullover turns into a battle over control who truly holds power when the law is bent by title and influence. The sun beat down on Oklahoma asphalt when two vehicles crossed paths, one chasing an emergency, the other carrying it. On May 24, 2009, Trooper Daniel Martin of the Oklahoma Highway Patrol raced through Okfuskee County with sirens wailing and lights blaring. He was responding to a call urgent, high priority, the kind that demands speed and judgment. Up ahead, an ambulance. Inside it, EMT Maurice White Jr. tended to an elderly patient in cardiac distress lying unconscious. The driver, Paul Frank, steered without sirens or flashing lights standard protocol to keep the fragile heartbeat of a patient steady, unstressed by chaos outside. For a split second, the road belonged to both men. Trooper Martin in haste passed the ambulance. He arrived at the scene only to find he wasn't needed. But rather than continue on his way, he made a different decision. With the emergency over, he spun his cruiser back and hunted down the ambulance he'd just passed. Not because the patient needed help, but because his authority had in his eyes been slighted. On the side of that road, law enforcement turned from protector to enforcer, not of safety, but of ego. What does it say about a system when control is valued more than compassion?
I'm talking to the driver.
No, I'm talking to you. I'm the medic.
You better get back in that ambulance. I'm talking to the driver.
I'm in charge of this unit, sir.
Okay.
My name is Maurice White. I'm a critical care paramedic.
I'm going to give you a ticket for failure to yield. And when I go by you saying what's going on, you don't need to give me no hand gestures now. I ain't going to put up shit. You understand me?
And I won't put up with you talking to my driver like that.
I ain't listening to you, buddy. You get your back in that ambulance or I'll take you in. I'm talking to the driver.
And if you would.
Come over here, Paul.
No, we got a patient in this unit right now.
Okay, you want to go ahead and pull over to the side of the road when there's an emergency vehicle behind you?
I didn't know.
No, I wasn't.
You ran up on us quickly.
I did not run you quickly, buddy.
Yes, you did.
You better get back in that ambulance before you get your butt to jail now.
With the flashing lights of his patrol car still spinning, Trooper Martin approached the ambulance not with concern for the patient, but with a citation pad in hand. His voice, clipped and assertive, told EMT Paul Franks he'd be ticketed for failing to yield. The law, he claimed, was clear. According to Oklahoma's Title 47, Section 11405, every driver must immediately pull to the right when an emergency vehicle approaches with lights and sirens. And by that definition, Trooper Martin was in the right on paper. But what about the ambulance? It too is an authorized emergency vehicle, and while it didn't activate its sirens, that wasn't negligence, it was medical judgment. The patient inside was in critical condition. Lights and sirens could have triggered a fatal cardiac episode. They were trying to preserve life, not race for dominance on the road. Yet the statute makes no room for that nuance. It doesn't explicitly state what happens when two emergency vehicles meet with opposing priorities. The law grants exceptions to emergency drivers so long as their lights and sirens are on. But this ambulance chose silence for the sake of survival, and so Trooper Martin pressed the letter of the law while ignoring its spirit. When two professionals meet at a crossroads, one carrying the law, the other carrying life, who yields?
Hospital, you can take me to jail, we'll discuss this. No. I've got a patient in this...
Hey, what's going on around now?
It's a foul. You better turn around. You in this car.
Turn around now.
I've got a patient. I've got a patient. And you are assaulting me.
I'm not talking to you.
Yes, you are. You turn around. You are obstructing my patient.
You turn around now.
Martin, calm down.
My
wife is in this car.
Y'all better back up.
My wife is in this car.
Back up.
My wife. Can you follow me? You can arrest me. Follow me to a prayer hospital. Come to the hospital, man. That's all we ask. Follow me to prayer. I'm here. Come to the hospital. You said, I'm sorry. I didn't see.
You get on. Get on.
Yeah, you come on up to the police station. Right, go ahead. Just take my wife to the hospital. Let's get on. Just take my wife to the hospital. Take my wife to the hospital.
333, close to break.
Go ahead. Highway patrol, the full...
After that, go 3, I'm over here on traffic stop. The ambulance over here to speak to Greg. You get over here. If you got anybody available, I need some help over here to break.
The dash cam wobbled slightly, the silence in the audio heavy with tension until it shattered with the clash of authority and urgency. Trooper Martin stepped closer, his voice firm not with concern but with command. He ordered EMT Maurice White Jr. to return to the ambulance. White refused not out of defiance but duty. A patient was crashing in the back and every second mattered. Martin threatened arrest. White remained calm. "I'm going to the hospital. If you want to arrest me, do it there," he said, stepping back to his post. But that wasn't good enough. Martin advanced again, tried to separate the EMTs. White moved between them, a human barrier between ego and emergency. The trooper grabbed White's arm, slammed him against the side of the ambulance, twisted, shoved, attempting to force compliance not through reason but through restraint. White didn't strike back. He stood his ground, braced by something stronger than fear responsibility. This wasn't just a conflict between two men. It was the collision of two missions, one sworn to uphold the law, the other sworn to protect life. The camera didn't capture compassion.
Highway patrolman pulled my mom's ambulance over because he's mad we didn't pull over, and he's trying to arrest the police, the AEMT, from taking my mother to the hospital. Let's get this all on camera right now. Let me get the car number here. That's all it is this time there. That's all it is. I'll tell you what you said. You said everybody can get it. Yeah, right. Sure. Yeah. Don't y'all get involved. Okay. We're not. Nah, I just got you some evidence. That's all. I got you some evidence. That's all. I've been going hot over here to help the county out. You understand? Yes, I do. I'm getting in, Mom. Yeah. Do what your mama says. You were under arrest. You were under... I'll get in there. Charge from assault and sabotage. Which is a state law. It ain't him, it's people right here. This was trying to be all right. Now listen, I just told you you're under arrest. Get the patient to the hospital. My mom is in here, just my wife, man. Come on. Talk to me. You're arresting me in the hospital. Talk to me. That's handed at the hospital. Doctor, man. It's just the crazy, man. I'm not breaking no law. I'm not breaking no law. I just want my wife to get help. That's all I want. Fuck the shit school. Come on, Mike. Come on, Mike. That's all I ask.
Another trooper arrived, but it wasn't to calm the situation. It was to escalate it. Trooper Martin returned to Maurice White standing near the ambulance he never left and declared he was under arrest. White didn't flinch. Instead, he looked the new trooper in the eye and calmly said he wanted to press charges against Martin for assaulting a paramedic on duty. It was the type of courage that rarely survives in the presence of badges, but courage alone didn't stop what came next. Martin grabbed White's wrist, twisting with force and frustration. A struggle broke out not from a violent suspect, but from a man defending his body against an unnecessary use of power. Then, without warning or justification, Martin's hand wrapped around White's throat. For over 10 seconds, a state trooper strangled a licensed paramedic in full view of other law enforcement. White gasped, his eyes wide, his hand pointing to Martin's grip as his body signaled what words couldn't. He wasn't resisting. He was surviving. The footage doesn't lie. There was no threat, no flight, no weapon, only ego and rage against professionalism and restraint. In those 12 seconds of pressure on the throat, what suffocated wasn't just breath. It was the very oath meant to protect life. If this is what happens to a paramedic in uniform, what chance does a civilian have?
You can't go right now. Get in there and take care of your patient. You're not running code. Here, Paul. Sir, I'm going to ask you to step back, okay?
Hey,
thank you.
My wife, she needs to be at the hospital.
I understand that.
She wouldn't be in this.
Well, if he wouldn't have come out here and started, we could have been on the road about 5 minutes ago, partner. Now step back.
I'm sorry to keep coming to the vehicle in front of me.
Look, Paul, all I'm trying to do is over here and talk to you about it. All right? I didn't need your manager or whoever it is in the back and the paramedic, whoever happens to be in charge, to get out and start obstructing, okay? You understand?
Yes, sir, I do.
He's going to jail. Yeah! You don't jump out and talk. You understand me? I don't care who you are. You're not running code. You're not running emergency, okay?
Right.
All right? I didn't just get up behind you and tailgate you and turn on my red lights and siren. I've been going hot over here to help the county out. You understand?
Yes, sir, I do.
Man, we're going to get you onto the hospital here just quickly, okay? Hey, you're going to jail, you understand me? You are under arrest. Okay, you are under arrest. I'll get in there.
Press charges on them for assault and assault.
I didn't assault you. I told you to turn around. Turn around. Turn around.
Also run 4344 on Topeka Martin. Topeka Martin. Ground start on 66 of 82. Okay,
After the chokehold ended, no apology followed. No reflection, no restraint. Instead, the men simply walked away from one another as if what had just happened was a routine misunderstanding, not a constitutional breach caught on camera. The ambulance finally departed, carrying its fragile passenger to the hospital, a journey delayed not by traffic, but by one man's anger. No charges were filed against Mr. White, but justice wouldn't stay silent. An internal investigation was launched. Captain Chris West of the Oklahoma Highway Patrol didn't mince words. Trooper Martin, he said, failed to recognize that it would have been more reasonable and appropriate to let the ambulance go once he knew there was a patient on board. That should have been obvious. Instead, it required a news conference. Disciplinary letters followed. So did a 5-day unpaid suspension and a mandatory anger assessment, a hollow response to the near strangulation of a medical professional in the line of duty. But Mr. White didn't let the matter end in paperwork. On July 21, 2009, he filed a federal civil rights lawsuit standing not just for himself, but for every responder forced to choose between their patient and their safety. Trooper Martin countered with slander and assault claims trying to flip the narrative. But in December, a federal court denied Martin qualified immunity, and in 2011, the 11th Circuit upheld that denial. The facts were clear. A jury had every right to see this for what it was: an officer losing control, not enforcing the law. The case eventually ended in a confidential settlement, but the record remains a badge that should have shielded life was instead used to suppress it. And when Trooper Martin passed away in 2018 from a heart attack still employed by the Oklahoma Highway Patrol, he left behind a legacy not of protection, but of recklessness. Because sometimes the most dangerous thing on a scene isn't the emergency, it's the authority that forgets who it's meant to serve.
It pushes forward? Oh, this one?
Yes, sir.
All right.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Process server.
Okay.
I was just waiting to see when he got home from work.
Here in the front.
I can give it to you to give to him.
All right, let me see who the
He's one of the county councils.
Oh, okay.
His name's Pittman.
Sheriff 1 Edward 33, code 4.
Usually when they call you guys, I give you the thinking it's cleared.
All right.
I don't know, are they home?
I don't know. It looks like they were looking at video, but...
Yeah, because they got videos in the windows and stuff, so.
Yep. There he is right there.
Oh. Would help if you answer the door, sir. Been knocking. I have limited exemptions to trespass under the Civil Code of Procedure, sir.
No, actually you don't. She will legally open the gate. I've already talked to the DA about it.
A man shows up to do his job, serve legal papers. Not with hostility, not with weapons, just with documents and duty. That man was Mark Andrews, a process server. The address belonged to County Attorney Robert Pittman. The gate was unlocked, the approach calm, the purpose lawful. But when power meets accountability, the reaction is often defensive. Pittman claimed Andrews was trespassing. Andrews calmly pushed back, citing his limited legal exemption under California law, one that allows process servers to enter enclosed property when performing their duties. But Pittman wasn't interested in legal nuance. He wasn't arguing the statute, he was exercising control. According to California Penal Code 602-8, entering fenced property without permission can constitute trespassing. But the same law explicitly exempts process servers making a lawful service of process. And more importantly, Andrews didn't jump a fence or sneak around a back door. He walked a clear, open path, the same route a mail carrier or neighbor might use. Still, the tension mounted. Officer Ryan Foyles arrived, a county deputy, calm, collected, but caught in a legal gray area. He listened, he watched, he questioned. But in the shadow of official pressure, he handed Pittman a citizen's arrest form. In that moment, the law was no longer a shield, it became a tool for retaliation. Pittman filled out the form, effectively demanding the arrest of a man whose only offense may have been holding a government official accountable by doing his job. And so a public servant used another public servant to silence lawful service, but who's really trespassing, one acting within the law or one using it as a weapon to avoid it.
I just talked to my office. He apparently attempted to serve that at the, or refused to leave it at the office.
No, she said she couldn't accept it.
No, she didn't say that.
No. You're served, sir.
That's fine. I want him cited.
For?
Illegally entering the property. I watched her pop the gate. It's on camera.
Yeah, no problems with the camera.
And you also walked around the property.
Right, and I knocked on things to see if someone's home.
Well, A, I was in the middle of a meeting. B, again, I'm not entering or opening the door for anybody.
Check with the sheriff's department. I was charged with trespassing once and knocking a hole. I'm just here to serve papers and I'm leaving now that it's
feels
done.
differently.
So here's all this stuff.
My office already has it.
Okay. Do you want to do the citizen's arrest for the trespassing?
Sure.
Okay. Let me go get that form for you to sign, and then we can go from there.
Okay.
All right. And then, can I get a copy of the tape of him entering, pushing through the gate?
I've seen it on camera. I don't know how to get it, so I'll see if my...
Okay. Perfect. Perfect. No.
He knows this is bullshit.
So.
He's just mad that I served him at home. How's your day going?
It's all right. How's yours?
I got one more of these. I gotta do it in Petaluma.
Okay.
See, it pays to sit around for a little while, then we don't have to drive twice.
On you real quick. Let me just go verify with him that he's actually going to sign this.
I'm sorry?
Let me just go verify with him that he's actually going to sign this.
Alright.
Because if he's not, then you and I both will be on our way.
Okay.
So just give me 1 second.
You can tell him because, like, when I've had to serve down at the jail, because they can't let me through the gate, they kept trying to charge me. And I said, no, I got gate thing unless it's at a jail or a facility like this, and I've already done it in front of Judge Dollard.
Okay.
And she's dismissed it.
Yeah, and to be honest,
It's because he knows somebody's the only reason they may press it.
Yeah, and to be honest, I don't know if they will or not. I mean, to be honest, you guarantee...
No, I know you're just doing your job.
I guarantee you know the civil code better than I do, too.
I've been doing this 14 years. You see that bad and everything.
Yeah, so, yeah, I'm sure, like I said, it could get dropped, but like I said, if he wants to push the issue and sign this, then you'll get a cite. If he doesn't want to sign it, then you'll be on your way.
Okay. So just so you can get it to the record with you.
Yeah.
I was here serving paper.
Yeah.
When I walked around, I sat down. I was waiting for him to get home.
Yeah.
So.
Not a problem.
All right. Thanks.
Yep. My partner might be showing up here shortly. Just let him know it's all fine. It's all right, sir. If I can just get your signature here, I'll fill in all his information. Just your signature, your phone number, address. This is just saying that you want to place him under citizen's arrest for the trespassing. And then I will fill in all his information up top there.
The arrest didn't come with flashing lights or raised voices. It came with a form, a pen, a signature, and a subtle misuse of power. Under California Penal Code Section 837, any private citizen may arrest someone for a public offense committed in their presence. That's the rule. But rules without context become tools for abuse. Attorney Robert Pittman, standing on his own property, claimed he had witnessed such an offense trespassing. He filled out the form. Officer Foyles, following protocol, accepted it. But even as the ink dried, the ground beneath the arrest wavered. According to Sonoma County Sheriff's Office Policy 333, officers are not merely scribes to private will. They must evaluate. Is there a reasonable cause? Is this arrest lawful? Is it a genuine matter of public safety or personal vendetta? Officer Foyles hesitated. He didn't handcuff Mark Andrews. He didn't haul him off. Instead, he issued a citation, a temporary placeholder for a truth yet undetermined, and he promised to investigate. It's what came next that mattered most. In the quiet of his office, away from the pressure of titles and fenced property lines, Foyles turned to the law. He studied, he read, he reevaluated. And what he found was simple. California Penal Code 602.8 could not be used against a process server lawfully doing his job. Mark Andrews had walked through an unlocked gate not with malice, but with paperwork. No crime had been committed. So Officer Foyles did what too few in uniform do when power waivers he admitted he was wrong. He voided the citation. He tried to contact Pittman. Silence followed. But the message was already clear. While the law may sometimes falter under pressure, accountability does not belong to those with titles, but to those willing to question them. Isn't that what justice demands?
And then
We're trying to pull the footage. We're having a hard time.
Okay.
For whatever reason, the cameras surrounding the house didn't pick up the motion.
No problem.
Been upside down.
What's your last name, sir?
Pittman, I just texted it to you. Oh, okay. 2 videos.
And Robert, what's your date of birth? This number right here is a good contact number for you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect.
Or I can give you the office number, whatever.
That's fine. And then, I got all that. All right. And
How do you want me to give you these? So you just want to
If you-
set timestamps on them.
if you can email that, my email is right here at the bottom. Is there any way that you can email that video?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, perfect.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I can probably move it from here to email and do it that way.
Yeah, so my email's right there at the bottom. Give me 1 second, I'll write the case number on here too.
Okay, perfect.
Sheriff Jail 33. Can I get a CR, please? 10-4. All right. So there's the case number. There's my card. And whenever you get a chance, if you could email that. My email's there at the bottom of the card. And then I will upload that to our evidence
All right, we'll do that.
server. Yeah, if you have any questions, you have my card there.
Okay.
Emailing me is probably the easiest way to get a hold of me directly.
Thank you very
And
much.
I'll try to answer any questions that you
All right.
have. All right, sir?
Thank you.
Yep.
Sometimes integrity speaks loudest when no one's watching. Back at his desk, Officer Foyles didn't just file the paperwork and move on. He opened the statute again, read it carefully, and in the quiet hum of an ordinary shift, he did something extraordinary. He reversed course. What he discovered confirmed what Mark Andrews had calmly argued in the moment. Penal Code 602.8 did not apply to process servers lawfully performing their duties. The law was clear. The arrest wasn't. Foyles voided the citation. Then, in a gesture of professional decency, he tried to reach out to the man who had requested the arrest, County Attorney Robert Pittman. He called, he emailed. But Pittman didn't respond. No explanation, no acknowledgement. And yet, this wasn't a failure. It was a quiet victory for truth for process for the kind of policing that doesn't cling to ego but grows from humility. Foyles didn't hide the correction, he documented it, he owned it. And in doing so, he reminded us that law enforcement isn't about always being right, it's about being committed to getting it right. How many more conflicts would dissolve if more officers had the courage to double-check instead of double down? Officer Foyles corrected his mistake. Mark Andrews stood his ground with calm conviction, but deeper questions remain. Should process servers ever face arrest for doing their job, and should officers be allowed to issue citations they don't fully understand? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's hear your take. If you care about truth and accountability, don't forget to like and subscribe.